Back now in the special voter education and legislative edition of Triad Today, brought to you in part by the good folks at Triad Federal Credit Union. And our special guest is sort of a hybrid because a lot of you still think he's in the General Assembly because he was there and did such a good job, but now he's heading up on his own organization. Jon Hardister is former state legislator, now president of TREBIC, which stands for Triad Real Estate and Building Industry Coalition. We thought he could shed some light on various policies and things that his organization is working on that sort of jive with what we're talking about today, which is educating people about policy, and we welcome him to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you, John. What is your organization, TREBIC, and what's the mission?
So we are a trade association for real estate development. So we support all types of real estate development, anything from residential, commercial, industrial, anything related to building.
Which is so important these days with all the economic development going on, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I believe you interviewed somebody earlier from Jet Zero.
Right.
So all the jobs are coming in, Toyota, Boom Supersonic, list goes on. So there's a lot of need for development.
You do a lot of coalition building and working with coalitions and partnerships. What kind of groups do you represent and work with?
So we're actually fairly diverse. We have about 160 business members, anything from construction companies, engineering, banks, law firms that deal with zoning. And we have 5 member associations. We represent the Greensboro Builders, Winston-Salem Builders, High Point Builders, the Piedmont Triad Apartment Association, and NAIOP, which is commercial real estate.
Wow. Now, what I know that in reading things about you and the organization, you advocate for, and this is coming right from your website, responsible development. You advocate for responsible development. Now, in a way, that sounds like a pretty simple statement, but what does it really mean? What does it mean to us?
So really what it means is responsible development is when the building industry and the regulators work well together. So you have the regulators that provide the permits, the inspections, and then you have the builders that go out and actually do the work. So what we mean by responsible is everybody works together. You collaborate. You want to have quality building, but you also want to have laws that are fair, that are not too hard to or unnecessary to comply with.
Not too much red tape.
That's right, yeah. And we want to have standards, but you also want the standards to be applied fairly. One thing that we focus a lot on is really just educating both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure the builders understand what the building codes are and also the regulators. You want to make sure they understand too.
I know it, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but as a former legislator at the state level, it probably helps you in what you're doing because don't you lobby with legislators and say, and sort of advisement and say, here's some things, some regulations we need, here's some we don't need. How does all that come into play?
Sure, well, first of all, it's a totally new ball game to me because it used to be I was a legislator and people were talking to me about their concerns, and now it's the other way around where I'm the one doing the advocating. We work really well with everybody, and the cool thing about it is building is not a partisan issue. That we all agree we need to have more housing. There is a housing shortage. Everybody knows that. When you have all the jobs come into Triad, you have to streamline the building process. And the cool thing is it's not an issue that's really a political football at this time.
Well, what kind of successes have you had? Can you name something that was kind of special to you that your organizations has helped put together?
Sure. Well, for one thing, we did play a role in Jet Zero. So not many people know this, but the Greensboro Chamber is actually a member association of TREBIC. They're not a building industry type of stakeholder, but they are in economic development. Well, I'm actually the lobbyist for the chamber, and so that means I'm the Greensboro Chamber.
Right.
So that means when Jet Zero was looking at PTI,
you were sort of an ambassador at that point.
Yeah, and I was honored to be involved in that. And of course, it's one of those things that's kind of burning a hole in your pocket. You want to talk about it, because it's so exciting.
Yeah.
But we had to follow the protocols and work with the legislature and Department of Commerce, and luckily we got it done. It's super exciting.
Oh man, it's going to make a big difference. Final thing, I have a few seconds left. What's gratifying to you about what you're doing now?
What's gratifying is that everybody needs a home. Like it's something that's just essential, like the American dream. Whether you're renting or ultimately you want to own a home, it's super important. That's really a nest egg for people's retirement, and also a place to go shopping, a place to work. A place like this museum. This place had to be built.
Absolutely.
So just playing a role in providing a place for people to live, work, go shopping.
Right.
It's gratifying to play a role in that.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing. Up on screen, you can go to TREBIC.org. It's TREBIC.org and check that out and see all the great things that John and his team are working on on our behalf, helps everybody in a bipartisan way, because as you said, everybody is wanting the same things, and we certainly work toward that. Thanks for spending time with us.
My pleasure. Thanks
All
for
right,
having
my
me.
friend. I'll be right back with some closing thoughts.